The shadow in the valley was bluer, and the evening came fast. On the wind, the sound of crashing in the brush came to them. Lenny said, "Tell her how it's going to be." George had been listening to the distant sound. For a moment he was businesslike. "Look across the lake, Lenny, and I'll tell you so you can almost see it." Lenny turned his head and looked off across the pool. "We're going to get a little place," George began. He reached in his side pocket and brought out Carlson's lugger. He snapped off the safety, and the hand up in the gun lay on the ground behind Lenny's back. He looked at the back of Lenny's head, at the place where the spine and skull were joined. A man's voice called from up the river, and another man answered. "Go on," said Lenny. George raised the gun, and his hand shook, and he dropped his hand to the ground again. "Go on," said Lenny. "How's it going to be?" "We're going to get a little place." "We'll have a cow," said George, "and we'll have maybe a pig and chickens. And down the flat, we'll have a little piece alfalfa." "For the rabbits?" Lenny shouted. "For the rabbits," George repeated. "And I get to tend the rabbits?" "And you get to tend the rabbits." Lenny giggled with happiness. "And live on the fat of the land." "Yes." Lenny turned his head. "No, Lenny, look down across the river, like you can almost see the place." Lenny obeyed him. George looked down at the gun. There were crashing footsteps in the brush now. George turned and looked toward them. "Go on, George. When are we going to do it?" "Going to do it soon. Me and you. You and me. Everybody going to be nice to you. Ain't going to be no more trouble. Nobody going to hurt nobody, nor steal from 'em." Lenny said, "I thought you was mad at me, George." "No," said Lenny. "No, Lenny, I ain't mad. I never been mad, and I ain't now. That's the thing I want you to know." The voices came close now. George raised the gun and listened to the voices. "Lenny begged, let's do it now. Let's get that place now. Sure, right now. We gotta. And George raised the gun and steadied it, and he brought the muzzle of it close to the back of Lenny's head. The hand shook violently, but his face set and his hand steadied. He pulled the trigger. The crash of the shot rolled up the hills and rolled down again. Lenny jarred, and then settled slowly forward to the sand, and he lay without quivering.